The UN describes Myanmar's Rohingya people as one of the most oppressed minorities in the world. Myanmar doesn't officially recognize them and refers to them instead as illegal migrants from Bangladesh. Bangladesh denies that, but the Muslim Rohingya continue to suffer in the process. 20-year-old Mohammed Ayaz, who is now studying in Turkey, managed to escape that, but only just.
They
have punched me and burst my lips open and beat me with knife. When I fell on the ground, they had striken with sticks on my backbone, and I still have that pain in my body. And then they bind me and took me to the prison.
Mohammed lost contact with his family. He hopes that his voice from here in Istanbul will be heard so they can get in touch once again. He told me he thinks the international community seems helpless in tackling the ongoing violence in his country, and that fills him with despair. Another student who refused to be identified says the international community is turning a blind eye to the crimes committed against his people.
The present situation is really worst. It's worse than 2012 and 16, I can say. If it continues, if it goes on, there will not be any Rohingya anymore within a week. The present situation is they're burning our houses, they're burning the village after village.
At the heart of this problem is the government's refusal to recognize the Rohingyas' rights to education and health care. Aung San Suu Kyi was elected in 2015. There were hopes she would stop the violence on the Rohingya minority, but the crackdown continued. Tens of thousands fled in the wake of more conflict last year. The media and human rights groups were banned from going there to see what's going on. Human Rights Watch and other humanitarian organizations have called it an ethnic cleansing.
There's a real massacre in Myanmar. You can even call it a genocide. The death toll of the innocent has risen dramatically, and these days it's been the worst since the eruption of violence.
There are 800,000 Rohingya Muslims in Myanmar, most of them in Arakan state. Over the years, thousands have been killed. Bangladesh is often the last resort for many who escape. But the government there says the Rohingya are not its responsibility. Ahmed Al-Burai, TRT World, Istanbul.